Somebody asked me, they said, I see why CGA has gone through the things he's gone through. So I see what his perspective is about the marriage thing. But why is BOA's perspective this when he doesn't have the experience? And I thought to myself, that has to be the dumbest comment that I've ever read, at least top three. So you mean to tell me that in order for you to believe something and for you to receive something as information, you have to go through it yourself? Where do they create these new guys at? I was taught the best lesson you could learn is learning from somebody else's mistake. So don't act like CGA's story is the only one you've seen in your life. Modern marriage doesn't work for a successful man. And if you're not a successful man, you shouldn't be worried about marriage anyway. You should be figuring out what you can do in this life. Don't let nobody tell you what you shouldn't do. You should be trying to figure out what you can do in this life to become successful. Because a successful man who legally marries a woman is a damn fool. And even women know it. So I've been doing a little research. Diddy, Nick Cannon, and now New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft, who is the first one to do it, has actually had a ceremony, a celebration of love ceremony that's not attached to a legal marriage. It's still a celebration. We're together now. This is my woman. We're a couple. But there is no legal marriage attached to it. Now I ask you, why wouldn't a woman go for that? Why wouldn't a woman be okay with saying, okay, I got the ring, I got the ceremony, I got all of these things? Why would a woman still press you to have the legal marriage? And here's the thing. I was talking to somebody yesterday and they said, well, what about, so if you got all this money, then you just let the woman leave. If just say if you don't want to be with her no more, you just send her away. No. See, the marriage is not the only legally binding contract. I will sit down and make you a contract and say, okay, I won't let you leave messed up. In the event that I don't want you anymore for no doing of your own, I just wake up one day and realize I don't want you. Let's make an agreement that I'll give you this. I'm fair. I'm not saying that I'm not willing to give a woman something in her as a parting gift. I'm saying that I need to be the one to dictate what that is. I don't need someone telling me that this woman is entitled to 50% of what I have. I don't care if I got $1. I don't want to give her 50 cents. If I got $1, let me give her 15 cents. So today we're going to talk about these guys with all of this money starting to say there will be no marriage. Nick Cannon has decided that he's going to give all of his baby mamas. You know, everybody, he got all these baby mamas. What's healthy about that? What's healthy about you being so stupid that you still listen to what your mama told you to do? You should marry that woman legally. Don't be a fool. So those three women, Nick Cannon is saying, okay, I'm going to give all of you a separate celebration of love ceremony. You're all going to have a ring. You're all going to do all of this. It's not like the man is going around having babies with 50 women. He got 3 women in specific. Besides his wife, Mariah, he's got 3 women in specific that he's making all his babies with. He's got 3 women that he's making. If you want 10 babies, don't try to put all of that on one woman. That woman body will never recover. She'll be ruined. She will be ruined. The most you can expect a woman to give you without tearing her body completely down is 3. 4, it's going to tear our body completely down. We don't live in the time when your grandmama was around. This is today. Women care about how they look. Hell, we care about how women look. So be fair to the woman. Don't try to put 10 babies in one woman. Break them down. Get your 3. Let them all have 3. Let the best one have the 4th one for you. She's the queen. So let's get into this, man. Cal Morton, salute, man. Appreciate the sponsorship of the show, man. The 50 Bone sponsorship, paying tuition. Salute to you, man. Appreciate you being in the building, man. Appreciate the support. The brother Savage Ways, man. Salute. Appreciate the co-sponsorship of the show. Appreciate the 50 cent, man. Dr. B always speak nothing but pure truth. Salute, King. Salute to you, man. Feel good to be back in the building with the Alpha Brethren, man. I ain't lying to you. So let's get into this thing, man. D. Foster. Appreciate the 5 bone, man. Stacking up, but should have been supporting. Hey, man, no doubt, bro. Salute. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Now, here we go, man. Let's get into this thing. Now, disclaimer. If you ain't got no money, that don't apply to you. Because you probably need to view a woman from a perspective of how much money she got. That's another thing. If you getting money, you don't want a woman for her money. If you hear a man tell me he want a woman for money, he broke. Now, am I saying that you want a woman who ain't getting no money? I'm not saying that. I'm saying you're not viewing a woman for her money. A woman need to be getting money in a way that fits into your life. You know what I'm saying? She does hair, she got to shop at the crib. Okay, when you busy, you grinding, you doing work. Okay, she got women coming over, she doing hair at the crib. She got a home shop, she got a hair, she doing hair at the crib. But the whole professional woman thing, I make money, I want a man on my level. Let me tell you something. A paid man don't give a damn about a paid woman money. I don't care about a paid one. Man, my cousin hooked me up with a chick, man, and she was, man, got multiple degrees, man, driving Benz truck, Beamer truck, getting all that paper, but she ain't have no femininity about her, and she ain't have no energy about it. Wasn't no feminine energy in her, man. And I never did. I can't bond with that. I don't care about your money. It's irrelevant to me. It's irrelevant to me. Every bit of your femininity you had to give up to give that money, you should go back and buy it. You got money, go buy it back. It's going to benefit you more in the long run than your little bit of money going to benefit you. Because a woman with paper is never going to get the type of man who has paper and has options. Because what a man wants is a woman who fits into his life, not a woman that he has to make compromises with so they can blend their lives together. No, I already have a life. If you're going to be with me, you're going to fit into this life. Otherwise, go over there where you're at, stay over there. I come through and knock you down from time to time, come through and break your back, come down and hit you with your savage pack, but we can't go no further than that. We can't go no further than that. All right, man, let's get into this. As soon as I find my clip. All right, here we go, man. Again, man, I appreciate y'all being in the building, man. It's been super real in the field, man. It has. Been super real in the field, man. Now, let's try this. Monogamous romantic love is impractical, illogical, and impossible unless you as a man compromise some of the things that make you a man. Now, you may not make that decision, but you were raised by your mama and you have already compromised some of those things. You think too much like a woman. And it don't make you a man to say, well, I want to have another woman, but I resist. No, you ain't resisting temptation, fool. You resisting your natural inclination as a man. Also, your woman can say he resists his natural inclination as a man, which makes you less masculine, which makes you less desirable to her, which causes her to eventually want a man who doesn't neglect his natural inclination. All right, man. All right, let's do it.
Want to get married? Because I heard you say
no. I don't want to get married, but I would have a ceremony that'd be better for a wedding for my wife.
You just want to have a party?
Yeah, you want to have a party.
This is a party. Is this a party? Is this a Diddy party?
Nah, because
real quick.
You want to get married? Because I heard you say
no. I don't want to get married.
You don't want to get married?
No, I don't want to get married, but I would have a ceremony that'd be better for a wedding for my wife.
You just want to have a party?
Yeah, you want to have a party.
This is a party. Is this a party? Is this a Diddy party?
Nah, because
Now, I'm going to tell y'all, man, I truly believe that that's the way it should be. You see, we always say a woman don't really want the marriage. She wants the wedding. She wants to be a bride, but not necessarily take on the responsibility of being a wife after she is a bride. So I will give her that day, but that day will not tie her legally to anything that I have. See, as men, we don't care about having a wife. We don't want to be forced into a situation where I can't get rid of you as easily as I got you. I don't want to have to go to court to get rid of you. I don't want to have to do any of that. I want us to have this agreement. If I end this thing, I'll give you this. Fine, cool. Because you got to dedicate yourself to the process of my progress. I understand that. So I will send you off with a benefit for that. You know what I'm saying? Besides the benefit of just being with me, I will send you off with a benefit for that. But there is no possible way that any man who has any common sense should even believe that legally tying yourself to a woman makes sense unless you ain't got nothing to lose and being with that woman is going to improve your life. See, I don't need to add no woman to my life to improve it. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. If I win the Powerball, 600 million, my life won't change that much. I mean, my zeros will change tremendously, and how I'm able to move in business will change tremendously. But my personal life, the way I live, the way my life is set up, it won't change much. I'm cool, man. I'm relaxed. I'm chilling in my environment. I travel how I want to travel. I fly the way I want to fly. I go where I want to go. My accommodations look how they want to look. You give me 600 million, it's not going to change. You understand? It's not going to change my everyday life by much at all, if any. So if that 600 million is going to change it, why do I care about the one making six figures? What I care about the one making $250,000 for? What I care about the one making 500,000? I don't care nothing about that. Now, I will say this: I don't care about it in the form that I'm going to deal with something unnecessary or something I want to deal with just so her money can be available in my life. I don't need it like that. But if a woman gonna be with me, just what I'm cut from, who I was raised by, what I'm built like. I mean, she gonna have to be kicking some money in just because otherwise, then I'm wondering what her value is. So it's not about me needing the money. It's about as far as what a woman can bring to me, not that she can give to me has more value than the money she can contribute. Even though all of her money may go back out, be spent right back on her, but it need to hit my hands. You understand what I'm saying? And these career women who think they're bosses, they're not, but they think they're bosses. It just don't go that way. And I'm not compromising. I'm not jumping through no hoops. That's why a man like Diddy would be dealing with a chick like Young Miami. That's why a man like Robert Kraft would be with a woman who's just a doctor. I won't say just a doctor, but this man is a billionaire several times over. His girl is a doctor. His wifey is a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Man, Diddy is close to right at billionaire status. His girl is Young Miami. Y'all hold on, man. Let me plug my computer in, man, before we die out here. We're going to have a dead show in a minute, man, if I don't plug it in right quick. Y'all hold up. Give me a minute. All right, MacBook Power back in the building again. G Money, salute, man. Appreciate the $50 sponsorship of the show, man. Keep leading the loss from the Mangina plantation. Salute, G. Well put, man. Salute to you. Let me throw this consultation link in here for the homie, man. See him asking. I don't have any. I don't have any moderators, man. I guess it don't matter because I keep my show locked anyway, members only. But I don't have any moderators, so I had to do this type of stuff myself. I might add my little shot as a moderator, man. I'll just let her kick these links in. She be grinding though. What am I looking for, homies? What am I trying to put in here? Hold up. Give me a minute. I don't want to be looking stupid all in the camera, man, trying to put this in. Give me a minute. Hold up. I'm trying, man. Hold up. Give me a minute. No, I'm gonna have to do that type of stuff. All right, there we go, man. There we go. I'm gonna try to go to the main page and lock it in as well. All right, man. So let's get back into this thing, man. I think I'm let me let myself back in. All right, man. So let's get this, man. All right, so let's get back into this thing. So, like I said, man, you got to remember, you can't put yourself in a situation where you have more to lose than you have to gain. It's bad business. So they say marriage is a business arrangement. Okay, if it's a business arrangement, what other business will you willingly put yourself in a situation where you're going to lose more than you could ever hope to gain? None. Not willingly. Nobody's going to invest in something they know for a fact is going to fail. And when it fails, you're going to lose everything. Nobody's going to do that. Let's get back into this, man.
Because I ain't learning as I go along no more. I mastered this shit that I learned as I was going along. So now the shit that I'm going to apply is going to sting a little differently when I apply it now, because I'm the fucking Miyagi of this shit. I ain't Daniel's son no more, nigga.
Right.
So that's the beauty of what I'm getting ready to do. Live my best life and apply it. It's like the gods when they say knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Knowledge is to look, listen, and observe. Wisdom is to speak wisely. Understanding is a reflection of knowledge and wisdom, and it's the best part, right? Why is understanding the best part? It's the absence of confusion.
Understanding is the absence of confusion. That's why when I tell you, men, if you're going a path, don't be taking in all these different ideas and ideologies about it. If you're set in a path that you're going, why listen to someone who, I don't listen to people who are adverse to that. We live in a society where men have become so feminine that they think everything should be argued and debated about. When do we get to a point in the world where men thought it's a good thing to argue and debate? The best thing you could be as a man is set in your ways, especially if them ways working. Why would you let somebody talk you out of some ways that's working in your life? Why would you let somebody tell you that what you're doing ain't right, even though it's working in your life, when you know you're right, when you know you're a positive man, when you know you're a man that's got positive energy, great energy, when you know you're a man that's aligned with the Most High? Why would you let somebody talk you out of that? Man, you can't sway me from the path I'm on. You can't sway me from my understanding. I don't care what you think. Argue with yourself. Understanding is the absence of confusion. The absence, no, not figuring out confusion. You have understanding once confusion is absent.
That's why we say peace. Understanding is the absence of confusion because it brings about peace.
Of course, you can't have understanding without the peace.
You can't have peace without understanding.
With balance.
So this is what I'm saying. When you understand, that's when you live in your most peaceful space. That's when you're your happiest. That's when you're the most potential threat.
That's why when someone asks me, what is your issue? I understand CGA saying that marriage ain't this and marriage ain't that. But what about you? You don't have CGA's experience. I don't have to have CGA's experience. I hear CGA's experience when CGA talks about it. I've seen CGA's experience from a multitude of other men. See, the problem with legal marriage is none of these idiots talking about legal marriage has enough of a body of work in marriage. They don't have enough of a history. They haven't been married long enough. How you gonna tell me about marriage when your ass ain't been married longer? You was in high school longer than you've been married. How you gonna tell me if you've been married less than 20 years, man? Don't open your mouth and tell me about marriage. How you gonna be married 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? Tell me about marriage. You can't tell me the benefits of marriage. You ain't been in it long enough. By the time you've been in it long enough, you ain't gonna be creating content on YouTube. Tell me about it. You're gonna be old as hell, boy. You got to be in that thing 20, 30 years to tell me, to have enough experience to tell me what it's like. It's like no matter what I knew when I was 25, I can't come over here and talk this type of stuff to y'all, man. If I'm 25, I can't do it. I ain't had enough experience. I'm not going to come here and tell you the same thing that my granddaddy would tell you. He 80, 90 years old. I'm not going to tell you the same thing he would tell you. I got to live a little bit more to be able to tell you some of those things. But I've been in this thing long enough to tell your ass that legal marriage is stupid. Legal marriage, if you're not legally married now and you're considering it, you're considering making the worst decision you ever made in your life, unless you're broke and you don't have the drive, determination, skill set, or mindset to move yourself forward into the lifestyle you want, and you need that woman to help elevate you. And if that's your mindset, then you don't really count anyway, just to be honest with you. When we're talking about men becoming the best version of themselves, the most alpha version of themselves, you don't even count. You're irrelevant. So let's get back into this thing, man. Never feel obligated to compromise who you are in order to appease some broad or her family and put yourself in a situation where you legally married and have everything to lose but nothing to gain. The problem with legal marriage is everything a woman gonna give you after you legally marry her, she already gave it to you already. Y'all already being intimate. She already cooking for you, cleaning for you, sewing your clothes, doing whatever she gotta do, packing your bag, doing whatever she gotta do. You ain't getting nothing new beyond the legal marriage point, because the one thing she could have kept, she been giving that away before she met you and gave it away to you too. That's the only thing that's the only bargaining chip that she ever had. And she's giving you that already. So what are you gaining? The right to call yourself a damn husband? Come on, man. Research the definition of husband food before you wrap your mindset around it being such a proud thing. Now I want y'all to look at this. We're gonna read this. Here's a woman that's saying, her name is Ruth Joseph. She's saying she married her husband because she loved him, but wasn't in love with him. She loved that he loved her. She loved that he took excellent care of her. She loved that he loved her daughter as if she were his own, which is impossible. She loved that he loved her family as if they were his own, which is impossible. And she loved that he worshiped the ground she walked on. All of those things sound crazy, right? But look at the first line again. She married her husband because she loved him, but wasn't in love with him. Why? Because a woman understands that whoever is in love is in a position of powerlessness. Here's a man who's in love with a woman who admitted she's not in love with him. How does that work? Now, let's take a listen to this.
And this is just me, you know, before this makes a damn headline somewhere. I personally am a person that is not angry at living in a blissful bubble of ignorance. Mm-hmm. The truth is rarely pretty. And in this world, in this life, you have to choose your happy. So I choose to believe the truth that makes me happy, as opposed to searching for the ugly truth that's going to mess up my
ignorance.
In other words, whatever your woman is doing, it don't matter to you because you just rather believe the best is happening rather than the worst. And I'll tell you, that is beneficial, but it changes when you legally marry a woman because her actions affect you and everything you have going on. If it's just dealing with a woman, it's totally different. Here's what I tell you, men. If you're not legally married to a woman, enjoy her, love on her, let her love on you, enjoy her presence, eat with her, sleep with her, drink with her if that's what you do, pray with her if you like, do whatever you want to do when she's with you. When she's gone, you better forget her ass exists because you can't worry about what she's doing when she's gone. When she's at home away from you, you can't worry about what she's doing. But it doesn't apply when the woman's home is with you. That means whatever she does, she brings it home to you. Whoever she's involved with, she brings it home to you. Whatever she goes out there and contracts, she brings it home to you. Whosever energy she picks up out there, whether good or bad, positive or negative, she brings it home to you. You can't have the same mindset when you're legally married. But here's Neo saying he does. And guess what happened? Bro divorced him anyway.
Like I even tell my friends, like, yo, if you ever found out anything about my wife, don't bring me that.
Really?
For real. Why would you?
Envy's
why
the
would you
same
mess
way.
with my happy? Why would you do that?
You know what's crazy, Envy? Remember you said you wouldn't want to know if your wife ever cheated on you?
Correct. Who wants to know that? Correct. A lot of people do that. I mean, a lot of people do that, but
I think you should only want to know if it's going to change things, right? Like, if you're like, if I find this out, I'm leaving, then that might make it. But if you're like, I'm going to stay with this person anyway.
Listen, I wake up every morning and breakfast is cooked, my kids is taken care of. Every time we around each other, we smiling and happy and things are blissful. And then on my deathbed, somebody tell me that you cheated on me my whole life. I lived a pretty good damn life. I'm not going to trip off that. That's me.
See, this is the utter and complete confusion that happens when you have to sell your soul to try to be whole with a woman. You can't do it. You have to stand on masculine principles at all times. You have to be the leader of the situation at all times. You can never put yourself in a situation where you won't accept the fact and admit the fact that after a while, you got tired of your woman being in close proximity. You got tired of her. Women think that men are just low down, dirty dogs. We're going to sleep around all we can. No, sometimes you get tired of the woman being around you, especially if the energy connection ain't raw. Sometimes the energy connection got to be so raw and real, man, that it seems fake. It's got to be like that. I tell you, man, if you got a woman around you, man, she should have a hard time keeping her hands off of you. Her world should literally change whenever you walk through the door. This will eliminate you being in a situation with a woman who doesn't like you, a woman who married you because she loved you but wasn't in love with you. You know what that means? A woman who loves you, she look at you like a friend. Women love their friends. A woman who believes she's in love with you, believes, I said, is going to behave and interact with you a certain way. And that is the woman that these guys are giving these celebrations of love to, but not legal marriage. Don't do it to yourself, homies.
To a brother listening to me right now, you got a good girl, bro. You got a good one, man. You might have to give up kicking it with the fellas. Man, bro, man, you letting that girl. Hey, man, I'm gonna be very real with you. A good woman will shift your whole life, bro.
Now let me stop you right there. This guy is one of the problems. See, here's a man who didn't have the wherewithal, the intestinal fortitude, the gumption, the spiritual astuteness to turn his own damn world around. What the hell you look like talking about a good woman to turn your whole world around? If you in such bad shape, you need a woman to turn your world around, you ain't in no position to be giving men no type of guidance or leadership about being no man. If you notice, he ain't giving you advice on being a man. He giving you advice on letting a woman turn you into the man that you need to be to fit into her life. You might have to give up kicking it with the homies. If you busy as hell on your grind, you ain't kicking it with the homies too much anyway. You too busy. I can't kick it with the homies all the time. It's rare. I mean, it's rare. Because I'm always gone, man. And you know what? My homies are almost gone too. This man is talking to a man who has nothing going on in his life. Like the man I was just talking about who meets a woman and she upgrades his life because he ain't doing shit. A good woman should not change your life, turn your life around. She should fit into the life that you already turned around. Why ain't your life already turned around, young homie? Why you ain't worrying about the broad if your life ain't turned around? This is the feminine mindset that men have embraced in this world. I'm just going to do nothing and I'm going to meet the woman and let the woman make me the man I'm supposed to be. Well, you're still not the man you're supposed to be. You're the man she wants you to be. You might have to give up this. Yep, you got to give up your car. You got to give up your bike. Oh, I forgot. You ain't got all that because you'll do nothing hanging out with your homies getting blowed every day. The most feminine thing a man could ever say is that a good woman will turn your life around. You sound like a kid. This woman ain't your mama. You're a mama's boy. This is not how we live our lives, man. We don't focus on things like this.
Like, don't listen to these fools out here. A good one? Man, what? A good one? You might have to sacrifice kicking it. They gonna call you names, soft, weak, whipped.
And you are soft, weak, whipped. A man should build his life before he has a woman. A man should build his life before he has a woman. I say again, just in case y'all didn't hear me in the back. A man should build his life before he has a woman. The problem is you got too many non-masculine men who are mama's boys and are living off the energy of their mama because they didn't have no connection with their daddy out here telling men to be the same way. A good woman. Yeah, now, here's what I'll say. A good woman can affect your life. You know what she does? She makes you stop living a jet set life, flying in and out of all these cities, kicking it with all these different women. Now, that sounds totally different from a man saying, this woman, you're going to have to stop kicking it with the homies. What the hell you and the homies doing and kicking it if y'all ain't making no money? Why y'all kicking it? Me and my homies kicking it, man. We might be kicking it somewhere, but we somewhere that we get money and then we kick it in our downtime. But we ain't just kicking it, chilling. A good girl will do that. She'll make you look at your life and say, you know what, man? Shit, she a little bit more qualified, got a little bit more quality, a few more quality characteristics or character traits that I love than all of them. So you start cutting those women off. Because now you got a new standard. There's a new standard bearer. So now you don't deal with any women who are up to her standard. And if her standard is high enough for you to put it in the high standard position, guess what? Then it's going to eliminate, it's going to really, really like nullify the majority of women that you meet as far as their ability to fit into your life. And so that's how you dwindle down to not having access to so many women. But what this guy is talking about is a woman got to come in and change your life and make you a man.
You're going to look back at them and say, husband.
Husband. Let me tell y'all something. If the proudest moment of your damn life is when you became some woman's husband, I'm not saying, man, that it ain't good to have a woman that you want to build a family with and have a connection with. I'm not saying that. But if that's the proudest moment of your life, boy, you ain't did shit.
Sacrifice.
Now, the problem with this sacrifice message is what happened to this sacrifice in your life when those opportunities came for you to put yourself in a winning position. What happened to that sacrifice in your life when someone said, hey, man, if you go this path with me right here, I can get you to there. No, well, man, I'm just going to hang out, man. You know, all my homies here, man. I don't want to go to school way over there, man. All my homies here. Now I don't want to move to that city, man. All my homies here. But you're supposed to make that sacrifice for a woman. A woman would never lead you to where you need to be. She will lead you to where you need to be in order to benefit your position in her life. Never add yourself to a woman's life. Always have a life that you can add to that where you can add a woman to yours. And if you don't have a life where you can add that woman to, that woman ain't on your level. You need to go a lower level. You need to go down to a woman that you can add to your life. Getting you should be a woman's proudest moment, not the other way around.
They date like a man.
Okay.
If you're a really highly successful woman who's doing very well financially, men don't date with those standards. Yeah. You date with who makes you happy.
What if she can't get over that? She's like, I want somebody on my level.
Good luck. Have at it. Go for what you want. But I'm just letting you know that your pool of men that are making the kind of money you're making is so slim to none. And then those men don't want you.
Those men don't want you. All of you women making all of this money, you have to understand that a man who's making money doesn't want you. Only a broke man focuses on a woman's money. Like, and here's the thing. I'm not saying you can't have money, but if you have money as a woman, you cannot present that out the same way that a man does. You have to present it as a benefit, as a help to whatever a man is doing. You have to say, well, okay, well, I can benefit the situation like this. You can't be like, well, I want this type of man because this type of man, and a man who does this because that man don't want you. You want to control the scenario too much, and a man who got some paper, he ain't finna let you control nothing. He has too much control in his life to give some over to a woman. And any man who does ends up like Russell Wilson, ends up like Russell Simmons. There's a couple of Russells there. Ends up like Tom Brady. Ends up like Exhibit. Ends up like Neo. This is how you end up. And none of us wants to end up that way. A man who's worked hard to put himself in a winning position in his life does not want to wake up one day and he has given it all away to some woman. We don't want that. We don't live that way. Relationships only have a chance at success when both parties have low expectations of each other and the arrangement. Expectations are not what makes a relationship work. Appreciating developments are what makes a relationship work. The energy has to be strong. As things develop, we appreciate those developments. When you have these expectations of what you want as a man with some paper or as a man with any level of success, it don't even have to be financial, whatever you determine success. It could be peace of mind. As a man with peace of mind, you don't want anything that doesn't enhance that. You don't want any woman who doesn't contribute to that. And a woman who has her focus on her own peace and her own goals and her own ambitions, she can never contribute that. But she doesn't realize that until she gets to the point where the wall comes tumbling down.
Because men will sleep with just about anything.
That's true.
And especially if it's private or secret and no one has to know.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen women who are 5s,
Yeah.
but they're sleeping with a dude who's a 9.
Yeah.
She's got these ridiculous standards because she actually thinks this means that a man on that level would be with her. But he would never be with her. He's just using her for sex. But she thinks because her vagina has given her access to these men here, that this is the new standard. Men, money. They would never have access to these women, but the money gives them access to this. So for women who are very successful and you want to only date those men in that pool, that men with money have access to women that are not on their level. Do you think he wants you? Men don't look at it like, let's be a power couple. That's a woman thing.
Man, that is real, Rebecca. I think a lot of women don't realize that.
Men don't think like that. That, you know, you're powerful, successful man making money. He wants a woman for peace and love and great sex and stroke his ego. And he's proud to have her on his arm when he goes out. It's kind of like that whole package, you know, for men thing. But that's about it. And as long as you're like a really great woman, you can be great friends and you know, the compatibility is there and everything. But he's not looking at another millionaire woman like, let me be with her because she's a millionaire.
Yeah.
That is not how men think. And so women, you know, if you're doing that, it's very lonely because first of all, there's not a lot of men in those categories. And then on top of that, like I say, you're going to be chasing men who don't want you.
I'm going to be honest with you. That may be the most thorough thing, the most thorough exchange I've ever heard Rebecca Lynn Pope give. That is 100% accurate. When I be hearing guys, man, you know, whenever somebody try to introduce me to a woman, man, is out, man, she make this and she make that and she make that. Dog, I don't care. I don't care. What her energy like? If I needed to hop a plane to get somewhere, can she get there, or is she gonna be too busy? Does she have too many career things going on? What's her focus? Because I'm gonna tell you like this: the more a woman focuses on her career, she starts to lose her femininity. It's just like you as a man. The more you focus on being Mr. Mom, being a house husband, you start to lose your masculinity. I promise you that. Masculinity needs to be exercised. You have to exercise your masculinity more than just in the gym. That won't do it. You have to escalate your mental, emotional, and spiritual masculinity as well. You have to exercise those things by doing what? By doing manly shit. That's how you do that. Not by acquiescing to a woman's demands. By making sure that woman knows this is my life. You get in where you fit in or you stay on the outside. But this train right here, it's taking off in a minute. If you're going to be on it or you're going to be off of it. The choice is yours. I don't care one way or the other. It's a wonderful train. We have built a phenomenal train here. It is fast. It is comfortable. The food is great. The sleeping quarters are phenomenal. We don't care if you're on it or not. But if you want to get on it, you can. That has to be your outlook. You can't be one of these guys that's sitting around talking about, well, the best thing that ever happened to me was my woman, man. That's the best thing that ever happened to me, man. I ain't lying. And lately, man, lately I've had the strangest feeling. You can't be around talking about that, man. You can't be around here talking about that. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. No. Sun gonna shine regardless if the brow here or not. Am I telling you that women don't have no value? No, I'm telling you that a woman has less value in your life than you have in your life, and damn sure less value than you have in hers. Value yourself too much to ever feel like a woman is completion of your life. As a man, a woman can't be the completion of your life. As a beta male simp mangina, she can.
So I'm in London, England for my husband's NFL game. I decided it's time for us to address all of the hate comments that we've been receiving about our relationship. Specifically me, because everyone says that I'm a controlling wife and I have way too many rules for him and things like that. And obviously, I know it works for my husband and I. And with the, career that he has, he's in the NFL. He gets women falling to his feet every day. You literally just cannot expect these men to not be tempted sometimes. And I think it's my responsibility to keep him in his place. There's a few things that I always make sure that we do in order to keep the spark alive. Obviously, today's a Tuesday, and on Tuesdays, I, require him to take me out on a date, have our little date night, realize.
I require him. On Tuesday, I require him to take me out on a date. Now, her name is Shannon Johnson. She's an NFL player, Jawan Johnson's wife. And this is her talking about how she handles him. This is a legal marriage. This is a young guy tied into a legal marriage, didn't know what the hell he's getting into, understands that his woman is in full control. Let's listen to what she says.
That I'm the one for him. It's always hard to not feel that if you're not, seeing your woman look done up every day. I want him to know that Instagram is not a reality. I can look like all those girls on Instagram too. And I want him to see me and I want him to be in awe of me. Because a lot of the times I'm looking crazy just like this. And again, I just don't want temptation to be there for him. I want him to choose me every time. The thing that I've been getting a lot of recently is everyone telling me that my husband's gonna leave me. And let me tell you this, we have a contractual agreement. And if he leaves me, it's over for him. So I'm in London.
All of that about how she wants him to like her, wants him to choose her, wants him to do everything. At the end, she says, we have a contractual agreement. It's called legal marriage. If he leaves me, it's over for him. All you idiots out here believing that your woman is the one because everything is good now. If you leave her or she leaves you, same way this woman just said, it's over for you. Why do you think celebrities who do sign the prenuptial agreements? Because they know if they don't protect themselves, the woman is gonna take everything she can. Why put yourself in a situation where you have to protect yourself from the woman taking everything she can? It sounds like a stupid situation to begin with. Find me the man. Find me the man who has been married 20, 30, 40 years. Who says if he could go back and do it all over again, he'd do it all over again. I have asked at least 100 of those men. And you know what they say? Hell no, I wouldn't do it again. So who you going to listen to? Men that's been married, been doing it for years? They got stuck in it because it's been so long? Or men who are just doing it in the beginning with these modern women who, if they don't know nothing else, they know how to put on an award-winning. I'm talking about not Tony Award. I'm talking about Academy Award-winning performance. That's the type of good girl you sat up and told him you want while you were doing all that damn pillow talking. Gone are the days where women don't understand the benefit of legal marriage. And gone are the days where men get sympathy for acting like they don't understand the detriment of legal marriage. Should you have a wifey? Of course. If you meet a woman who fits that position, put her in it. Should you have a wedding? Of course. Give the woman the day to be queen of the world. She's your queen to be. Give her that. Should you give her a ring? Of course. Diamonds ain't worth shit, but give her one anyway if you can afford it. Should you give her legal marriage? Hell no. Even men who ain't got no money ain't happily legally married. Don't do it, man. It makes no sense. Pull a Robert Kraft. Just have a ceremony, celebration of love. Pull a Diddy. Just have a celebration that's more fitting for your wife than a wedding. Do a Nick Cannon. Have a celebration for 3. If they're your wives, have a celebration for them. Legal marriage keeps you from being who you naturally are. And that is a man who has the freedom to choose a wife and the freedom to lose a wife without having to lose everything that he's built his entire life. All right, let's wrap this up, man, with the queen of all of this dumb shit, Jada Pinkett Smith, who hates her husband Will so much, has so little love for this guy that she sends him on trips with his ex-wife, Cherie. But what's telling is that Cherie says what Jada proves she feels for this guy. Let's take a listen.
We're better as co-parents than we were as husband and wife.
That's how it's shaping up to be with me
We
and
came
Max, too.
together.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? That's how it's shaping up to be. I want y'all to listen to that again. Listen to somebody in the background saying that's how it's shaping up to be with them too. Listen.
We're better as co-parents than we were as husband and wife.
That's how it's shaping up to be with me
We
and
came
Max, too.
together.
Yeah.
I want y'all to pay
To
attention.
have Trey. It took the two of us to make him, but then we shifted, and
You guys really enjoy each other. You guys really enjoy each other.
Does that ever get under your skin? Like, wait a minute, because it's like
never.
Man, let me tell you something. When the last time you had a woman that loved your dirty draws, that was absolutely happy for you to be kicking it with your ex? I ain't talking about just being parents. I'm talking about kicking it with your ex. Happy, never bothered by it. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Yes, it gives Will freedom, but it also gives Will a reminder that he's tied everything he's ever built in his life to a woman who don't give a shit about him.
Take trips. I'm not there.
Yeah.
They do their thing.
Yeah, you're gonna have to explain that to the
Okay,
viewers.
well, yes. I'm not
'Cause they
saying
gonna
that
think we're in
they.
a
I
trouble.
know, I
not
know.
together
Not
romantically.
together
of course,
romantically,
yes.
but like if he's going on a book tour and his mom is going and his sister, and it's fun for me to watch them enjoy each other. It takes.
It's fun for her to watch Will and his ex-wife enjoy each other. It's fun for her. You know why? Because she don't want to do none of that shit with Will. She don't want to go on no trip with Will. She don't want to go to Will book signing. She don't want to be at Will movie premiere. She is happy to have a fill-in. She is happy to have Cherie as a sister wife to do all of the shit she don't want to do. And you know how much stuff she don't want to do with Bill? None of it. She don't want to do none of that with Will, man. This fellow is tied into a situation, man, that is proof to all of you idiots that legal marriage is stupid. It's dumb, man, because you don't have to do it to get the benefits of having a wife. Why are guys perpetuating legal marriage? They want to treat you like if you and your woman live together and y'all pay bills together, and y'all got bills under the same roof, y'all sleep in the same bed, y'all got children in the same house, that y'all ain't married because it's not legal. Man, these guys are idiots. We are at the worst times in this society, brothers. And it's at a point where men who have no inkling of what a man should really be are at the forefront trying to teach men how to be men. And listen, easily influenced men, impressionable young men who don't have fathers in their lives are being led to the same emotional, mental, and spiritual slaughterhouse that men generations before them have been led down. At some point, the method has to change. We can't talk about divorce and all of this on one hand and then turn around and say, yes, you should still get legally married. We can't talk about the men who end up wanting to off themselves after the results of a divorce. 10 men per day in the United States off themselves. We're not talking about the ones who tried. We're not talking about the ones who thought about it. We're not talking about the ones who failed. We're talking about the ones who do it. 10 men per day in the United States end it all because of the results of a divorce. Because you know what happens in divorce? Your ass lose everything. You lose everything. You lose everything. And let's be honest. If your libido is in proper working order, you are either going to have a woman with whom you are absolutely sexually compatible. I'm talking about to the point where you don't need another woman because every time you're around that woman, she just does it for you. That's possible. Or you're going to need multiple women. Just the reality of it. See, here's the deal. The misery of knowing in your heart that a relationship is over, but being unable to reconcile that fact because you have so much to lose if you end it is the one thing that makes marriage absolutely stupid. If you can't leave a woman because you got to pay more than you can afford to pay just to go your own way, how smart can that decision be? How smart can that decision be? And none of these men who promote it have been married long enough to say, well, you don't have to worry about that. I want to see these guys, man, who just got married. I want them to see it down. I want to see them 10 years down the line, 15, 20 years down the line, saying this same stuff when they've lost their will to do anything other than be a husband. Let me tell y'all, man, you can't be ashamed of a long-term relationship failing because most of them do anyway. You can't do that. If it's over, it's over. If it's over, it's over. You cannot allow other people to interfere in your life in a way that causes you to sign on for a catastrophic event like marriage. Because here's the thing about divorce. The number one reason for divorce, the number one cause of divorce is legal marriage. Without it, there is no divorce. So for all of those things you can do all of those things without a legal marriage. Why is the legality of it being pushed so much? Because these men don't even understand they're being used to tie you into a situation that renders you powerless. Renders you powerless. Learn to say no to misery and yes to peace and tranquility. Learn to say no to misery and yes to sanity. Stop accepting whatever negative energy comes with sacrificing yourself and your joy to be a full-time contributor to someone else's happiness. That's what legal marriage does. It makes you a party to your own freedom being stripped. Your own ability to think for self and then think of everyone else as a secondary thought. You stop growing into who you're supposed to be when you legally marry a woman and start growing into who she wants you to be. Can you find a woman who's worth that? I don't know. But you shouldn't have to. Because you should always remember, you already have the life that she needs to fit into. You don't adjust that life so she can fit into it. You keep moving until you come across a woman who fits into it. And if you don't, you keep protecting that life from being altered by someone who doesn't mean it or you any good.
It's time, though. We're not having a trouble, everyone. Let's just make that very clear, because you know that will be the next rumor.
Make it clear.
Yeah.
What sort of things did you guys do that you thought was fun and made you want to move in with him?
It was the threesomes. We was having a lot of threesomes.
Wait. Did you say threesomes?
Yeah, threesomes, foursomes. Well, it was fun.
Oh,
like
threesomes and foursomes.
Yeah, like I like fun. So he was like in my eyesight, like that was gonna be my husband. Like it was the person I can have threesomes and foursomes and I can be myself with.
Was he?
I want y'all to listen to this, man. The person she could have threesomes and foursomes and she could be herself with. In other words, the idiot who would legally marry the world's greatest 304, the champion of 304s, the idiot who would marry her. That's who she thought this guy was. And he was that. She moved in with him. She moved in with him. He said, come on, live with me and bring all your 304 terrible, nasty energy in my house.
Already into threesomes and foursomes, or was that something you introduced him to?
I probably introduced him. I never even asked that much questions. It was something that I liked it, so
I never even asked that much questions. It was something that I liked it. Something that you liked it? What the hell does liked it even mean? She turned him on to it. She turned him out. You men got to stop being led by your damn wood. Stop being led by your wood. Your wood is stupid. It doesn't have a brain. It doesn't have a brain, man. It will constantly lead you astray. It will constantly take you down the wrong path, man. Do not listen to it. Your wood is stupid. It has no sense. It will not ever give you the thing that you need. And you know what the main problem is? The main problem is you may have a problem giving up on things that don't mean you any good in life. You have a problem giving up on things.
Thinking like, you know, he would be with it, I guess.
Now, did you see how embarrassed that lady looked at the end, man? Why did she look so embarrassed? Why did she look so embarrassed? I don't know if that lady was related to her or not, but that lady looked extremely embarrassed. You know what? Because it's embarrassing. The same way these guys out here talking this simp talk, it's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing to see a man who knows better than to go a certain path and he goes there anyway. It's embarrassing to see a man fall head over heels in love with a woman that he know was already with somebody else when she started messing with him. It's embarrassing to see a man marry a woman who left her husband for him. It's embarrassing to see these guys who've only been married for a month talking about how great marriage is and how everybody else should be doing it. It's embarrassing for a guy to ask me, well, what's your problem? You don't have the same experiences that CGA has, so you shouldn't feel the same way. You should wait until you have to go through those same things. It's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing. All of these things are embarrassing, and they're embarrassing because they shouldn't have to be that way. It shouldn't have to be that way. No one should have to tell you that you should do what's best for you. Why do people have to tell you that you should do what's best for you? The reality of it is this, man. As men, we must keep in mind that no one owes you to protect you from yourself. That's your job. And if you don't do it, then screw it. Because no one else cares. I care. So I'm going to always come in here and give you the real information. It may be tough to swallow. It may be a big pill, but you better take a blade and cut it in 4 pieces and take it down. Take one every 4 hours and you'll be good. Stop believing that something that didn't work for anyone is going to work for you when it comes to interpersonal interactions. Because it's not, man. And as a man, you don't build yourself to the best version of yourself your whole life to then turn around and compromise that person just to be with a woman. Because you shouldn't have to. My little broad, I don't have to compromise nothing. I am who I am. You know what? She loves it. She loves my dirty draws. More than she loves my clean ones. She loves my dirty draws, man. And that's the way it should be. So anyway, man, we're going to go ahead and slide on out here. I ain't want to keep y'all in here too long, man. We're going to slide on out of here, but we will be back in this thing, man. I was supposed to be back in here later on, man, tonight, where we will talk about why I don't make content for beta male simp manginas, man, who hate women. I don't make content for y'all. Because over here in our sphere, we love women, man. We have so many positive energies, man, so many positive memories and so many positive, things that we can say about our experiences that we just can't hate them. And if you do, we're going to flush you out of here tonight, homie. You're going to get out of here and you ain't coming back. Look here, man. I appreciate everybody, man, tuning in to the show, man. I appreciate it. We was a little rusted, man, today, man, on delivery. Been a minute, but we'll get it back in line, man. G Money. Savvy Ways. All right, G Money. Savvy Ways. Kyle Morton. Yeah, I appreciate sponsorship of the show, man. I appreciate y'all brothers being in here. Let's get ready to get out of here, man. I'm going to let y'all get back to the rest of your day. I'll see y'all in a minute, man. Y'all put God first. Keep grinding and growing. And remember, man, I don't know where you finna go when you leave this show, but on your way there or the way back to the gig, let them know you just left the alpha sphere. Well, alpha's up, beta's down. It's indeed the motto. Peace. Seems like no matter what you do sometimes, your efforts go underappreciated or unappreciated, period. You know, all we do, man, is try to give men the information they need to become the best version of themselves. No hate. We love women. We don't hate them. We just don't take no foolishness. And we can't be controlled by our lust. Those men can, but not us.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though.
Now, I'm not gonna tell you, man, that you shouldn't value your woman at all. A woman does have value, but you can't overvalue her and convince yourself that she brings more value to your life than you bring to hers. You know, just the protection and provision is more than a woman can ever make up for, man. So I'm not saying don't give her props for what she does, but damn sure never make her feel like she's more important to you than you are to her, because it's just a figment of your imagination. She knows the truth, so you have to understand the truth as well. This is called the abundance mindset. There's nothing she can give you that you can't give yourself, besides a baby. And do you really want one of those right now? Nope.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though.
See, the main thing that men let women slide with is shut-upness and obedience. Now, when you use the term obedience with a woman, she automatically relates that to being a slave. But slaves aren't obedient. Obedience is a choice. Slaves either do it or die. Shut-upness is another thing that women have a problem with. It doesn't mean you can't talk. It means that you can't talk when I'm talking. It means that when we're talking about things that I do as the man, you don't have an opinion on those things, because I make decisions based on facts, not opinions, not even my own opinions, and most certainly not yours.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up,